watching a special edition of The List.
And isn't that wonderful?
Mouth-watering, budget-friendly ideas to help you think outside the box in the kitchen.
So it's definitely worth checking out.
Keep healthy food fresh longer with clever hacks. Turn your cooking passion into profits.
I got inspired by other bakers in my community teaching.
Prep meals with super ingredients.
They are essentially free medicine.
And check out hot gadgets.
It can steam, it can broil.
But first, save time and money on grocery shopping.
Free delivery for 15 days.
That's at the top of our list right now. Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Shaguna Duolo. Today we're going to focus on one of our favorite topics here at The List.
That's right, we are in the kitchen talking about food, not only making it and eating it, but even profiting from it.
We'll start with grocery delivery, which has become a big thing since the pandemic, with stores scrambling for a way to get your attention.
So Jimmy Rhodes runs down the great grocery delivery deals that you can get right now. And it's our featured story at the top of the list.
If you feel you need to wear a hazmat suit to the grocery store, you're not alone.
A lot of people are really interested in getting their groceries delivered to their house right now for obvious reasons.
Kyle James from RatherBeShopping.com says
It really is a battle for consumer loyalty, and so it's kind of a perfect storm for consumers to give this a try.
because grocers are desperate to get their foot in the door of your grocery delivery mind space. We're running down the offers starting with Walmart.
Walmart is offering a 15-day trial to their unlimited delivery service. And what that does is it gives you free delivery for 15 days.
You could get a free delivery all 15 days, but you do have to reach a minimum of $35 on the order. And there's also an introductory deal.
A one-time use, $10 off your $50 delivery order. So it's a great way to get 20% worth of free groceries.
But be careful, you have to proactively opt out of this at the end of the 15 days.
If you don't, you're going to be charged $98 annually or $12.95 a month.
So flag the date you need to either opt out or sign up.
Putting a little reminder in your phone or writing it on your calendar for you to go on and make sure you cancel it.
How about another coast-to-coast retailer, Target, which has partnered with Shipt for delivery.
And right now they're offering 4 free weeks of delivery via Shipt. So you can go on and place as many orders you want for 4 weeks, see if you like it. After that, you're going to pay $99 a year.
So again, set a reminder to opt out, but Kyle says you may wind up liking the deal.
If you factor in your time and your gas, in many cases that $99 a year is a pretty good bargain.
And Target's delivery service includes items from some other departments too.
You're talking about grocery and home goods and home decor and get that free delivery, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Okay, our last huge national brand offering a trial deal, Whole Foods via Amazon Prime. If you're not already a Prime member,
This might be a good time to do the 30-day free trial.
during the free trial for Amazon Prime, you could try out their Whole Foods delivery.
30 days, you can test the service and get the free delivery, and then you get all the other perks of Prime as well.
And this is another one you need to opt out or else they'll sign you up for the whole year. Okay, Walmart, Target, and Amazon are all huge retailers that sell basically everything, but there are actual grocery chains offering free trials on delivery too, like Safeway, which, depending on where you live, may be called Albertsons or Vons.
So Safeway has a really cool promotion right now, and they have a coupon code, and what's going to do is going to give you $20 off your first $75 grocery delivery order or more. And that comes with free delivery, so I mean, it's a great way to try their service.
Okay, the great thing about this one is you don't have to remember to opt out, but if you want to continue with the service,
You're going to pay $9.95 per delivery. If your order exceeds $150, that fee is reduced.
to find out how long these deals last, some regional grocery chains also offering deals, and all the other fine print, head to RatherBeShopping.com. Scoring big savings on grocery delivery is at the top of the list.
Most of us are trying to do our part by social distancing and avoiding multiple trips to the grocery store. But what about some of our favorite food items that have a short shelf life? Teresa Strasser shares 3 surprising things you can freeze for the future.
We all use our freezer to store items like meat and frozen fruit, but sometimes we buy food items that might make you wonder, can you freeze it?
You can actually freeze quite a bit of things.
We spoke to registered dietitian Rachel Mosser, who shares 3 surprising food items you can throw in the freezer and use later on. First, avocado.
Avocado actually lasts 6 to 9 months in the freezer.
The easiest way to store this fruit is to puree or mash it and place it in ice cube trays or freezer bags.
The freezing will actually kind of help to stop the process of degradation.
She says it's important to freeze an avocado at its peak freshness.
That's only going to help and just keep the quality and even the nutritive value of them.
Keep in mind that the texture might not be the same, but there are other ways to use this fruit.
Whenever we're using avocado from a thawed state, it's more for like dressings, or if you want to put it in your smoothie or make guacamole.
You can also reduce browning by brushing lemon juice or vinegar onto the flesh of the fruit. Next, eggs.
We don't ever want to freeze them in the shell.
According to Rachel, it can cause the egg to expand and break. So instead, you would want to crack them open and whisk the yolk and the egg white together.
Per cup of eggs, adding like around a tablespoon of either salt or sugar will help it from forming this gelatinous structure.
Eggs can last up to a year in the freezer if stored properly. She recommends pouring the whisked eggs into ice cube trays or a freezer bag. When you're ready to thaw the eggs,
I would say to put those in the refrigerator overnight or at least for a few hours. So then you pull one out, you know you're going to need one for your blueberry muffins or scramble them. So that's perfect to do that.
Our last surprising food item you can freeze, onions.
The big takeaway from it is you're not going to probably use a lot of them in like a fresh state after they've been frozen, and it's more going to be like a part of a soup or stew.
Onions can last in the freezer for up to 6 to 8 months, but it's important to blanch an onion to avoid a mushy texture when thawed.
Blanching is where you have a pot of water and it's boiling and you throw them in for 30 seconds and then strain it and then put them in some sort of ice bath to slow down that cooking process. So then whenever you go to put them in the freezer, they won't turn brown.
We are making the most out of your freezer with 3 surprising food items you can freeze.
Danira Cancinos is a baker and a successful online entrepreneur, but the road to success wasn't easy. She was a single mother of 3 living on food stamps when word got out about her amazing caramel apples. She tells us how she persevered and built a sweet empire.
It's so soft and so delicious.
If you've ever thought about turning your passion into income, there's no time like the present.
I got inspired by other bakers in my community teaching, and I was taking their classes as well.
A few years ago, Danira Cancinos was struggling to make ends meet for her kids.
I was a very young mom, and baking took my mind of everything that I had going on.
So she took her passion for baking and made some serious dough as the owner of Danny's Dulce Confections. And she's letting us in on how she did it. For starters, she needed to focus on her passion.
When I had my own kids, it's when I started to really incorporate baking, baking cookies, baking cupcakes.
She would post her desserts online, and before long, friends and family would ask her to make some treats for them.
When people started to ask me, how much are you going to charge me? And I was like, I never thought about charging.
Which gave her the confidence to invest in herself.
And I said, I want to turn this into a business.
Pursuing this dream let her turn her ideas into cash.
I started posting on Instagram and I started to get orders from strangers.
And in 2018, Danny decided to take her baking business full-time.
I didn't plan it very well and I was struggling financially.
So she took some inspiration from the baking community and took some online courses.
And I was seeing how many students were signing up. And I was like, they're making this amount of money just teaching a class.
She believed in herself and started teaching online courses.
But there were smaller courses. There were $10, $28.
She knew she had to step up her game, so she created an 8-session course for her famous caramel apples and charged $200.
From washing your apples, from sticking the stick in the apple, how to package your apples, all that kind of stuff goes into my courses.
Her goal was to get 100 students, but 315 people signed up, and she made a whopping $63,000. This taught her a big lesson.
The audience, your community, they want to learn from you.
Finding the recipe for success with online courses. Up next,
It has more antioxidants than blueberries and pomegranates.
little known foods that'll pack a healthy punch to your menu. Plus, bakers teaching you the basics.
Proper handmade bread the way it should be.
And cooking shows starring one special ingredient. Then kitchen tech that could have you mastering any meal.
Cook it better than the instructions.
This list is cooking. Next.
Welcome back to our In the Kitchen special. Look out, salmon, kale, and quinoa. There's a new squad of superfoods in town, and they're packing serious nutritional firepower. That's why we're looking at 3 new superfoods you've got to try.
Berry, salmon, and quinoa. They all have one thing in common. They're considered superfoods, but they're not the only ones to include on your grocery list next time you're shopping.
These 3 superfoods, they are essentially free medicine.
We spoke to Dr. Arva Supaya, who shares 3 new superfoods that pack powerful nutritional benefits. First, Malaysian palm oil.
The palm oil tree has a fruit, and when you squeeze that, you get red palm oil.
A native tree from Malaysia, Dr. Supaya says this new superfood contains vitamin A, which can help the health of our heart, lungs, and kidneys.
It's also a natural source of vitamin E, which is a very powerful antioxidant.
And according to studies, it's the perfect balance of nutritional fats, which can help regulate cholesterol levels.
You can bake with it, or you can just sprinkle it on for salads.
Next, chia seeds.
Now, this is not a new product, but I wanted to highlight this because it's coming in so many different ways now. You don't just have to use the seed.
He says chia seeds can come in oil, capsule, and pasta form, and they all pack the same health benefits you would get with only eating the seeds.
It has iron, it has magnesium to help calm the nervous system down, help you sleep.
It's also loaded with omega-3s.
Chia seeds has more omega-3 than salmon.
Our last new superfood to try, sorghum.
So places like Asia, Africa, they use sorghum all the time.
Usually compared to quinoa, this superfood is gluten-free and is known to help stabilize blood sugar levels.
It has calcium, iron, and it has more antioxidants than blueberries and pomegranates.
You can eat sorghum in many different forms.
Oftentimes people boil them like oats, but you can make bread out of it.
You can pick up at your local health food store. We're keeping you healthy and informed with 3 new superfoods to try.
You know, this really has become the new golden age of baking at home. And if you want to be a part of the renaissance, there are some great YouTube channels that'll teach you how. Teresa Strasser has 3 of the best on the buzz list. Teresa.
Thank you. Now you better believe these YouTube bakers will teach you what you need to know. I am so sorry. Coming in at number 1, Bake with Jack.
I'm talking about knowledge of resting your dough, why we're needing it in the first place, what to do with your dough, how to fit it into your schedule.
With 7 million views, he teaches basics like the right way to knead and shape dough.
Push roll, push roll, push roll, push roll.
Solves problems like why your sourdough is turning out so sticky.
This happened because your dough went too far, it fermented too much, it's gone way past its peak and you're left with this sticky mess.
And gives recipes for various loaves of bread.
Can you see that swirl? That's evidence of my shaping. Isn't that wonderful? Proper handmade bread the way it should be. Seeded.
Carbs have never been so cool. At number 2, King Arthur Flour, an employee-owned flour company that has a bounty of baking videos.
We are real people here just like you. We're in the kitchen, we're baking, and we want to do the best by you we can possibly do.
With over 7 million views, their series, The Isolation Baking Show, features staff-made videos like Baker Martin and his son Arlo showing us how to make baguettes.
Eventually shaping becomes fun. Yeah. In the beginning, it can be a little bit stressful, and I remember that.
And pastry chef Kai satiates your sweet tooth with a cream puff dough called pâte à choux.
You can totally make it at home. It's just 5 ingredients.
5 ingredients. Sounds doable. And third on our YouTube baking channel list, Rosanna Pensino.
Welcome to another Nerdy Nummies.
With over 3 billion views, she is YouTube's baking queen, focusing on sweet, pop culture-inspired treats like Animal Crossing birthday cake and Baby Yoda macaroons.
Look how cute!
And baking perfect desserts like chocolate chip cookies and
banana nut bread.
A lot of people have been making bread, so much so that the yeast at the store is sold out. So I thought, let's make a yummy, simple bread recipe that you don't need yeast for.
Well, that is the yeast they could do. YouTube channels helping make you a better baker on the Buzz List. Stay with us, we've got lots more to come.
Welcome back to a special In the Kitchen edition of The List. Now, one ingredient that's found its way into more and more foods is marijuana. So we're checking out 3 TV shows where cannabis meets cuisine, and it's on the hot list.
I never did cook with cannabis.
Wow, she's going for it.
The first cannabis cooking show on our list, Bon Appetit Cook-Off.
I'm your host, Be Real. Let's get it cracking.
Be Real, the longtime lead rapper in the hip-hop group Cypress Hill, is now the host of Viceland's cooking competition show, where chefs go head-to-head to create high-end dishes featuring food infused with marijuana.
This is the highest I've been all month. That's awesome.
The next infused cooking competition on our list, Cooking on High at number 2.
Let's cook.
This Netflix original has a similar premise where 2 chefs go against one another to prepare cannabis-infused meals for a panel of very chill judges.
Oh my goodness. Could you give us some privacy?
Whoever earns the highest score gets the golden pot, the kind you can actually cook in. You can stream the full first season now.
Hit him with the damn tag.
And after all that infused food, you know what comes next. The Munchies. That show's at number 3.
Hi, my name is Tony Charlene, and welcome to Munchies.
This Funny or Die series gets your favorite celebs in the kitchen to get high and prepare, you guessed it, their favorite munchies, like comedian Nicole Byer's attempt at making funnel cakes.
I don't know. I don't think I made a funnel cake.
Watch the full series now on funnyordie.com and Amazon Prime.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, I might be stoned, but I like it.
Taking cooking shows to a higher level on the hot list.
Next, a look at ovens that are so smart you don't have to be. That's coming up.
Here's a quick list for you of fermented foods to help with your digestion and immune system. First, kefir.
Kefir tends to be more active with bacteria that are robust, survive through your digestive tract.
Second, sauerkraut.
Studies are showing that 1 jar like this of homemade sauerkraut, like we do, no pasteurization, no vinegar, can replace over 8 bottles of probiotics.
And third, beet kvass.
So beet kvass has actually been around since the mid-6th century. The Eastern Europeans called it a cure-all.
For more health tips, head to thelisttv.com.
We're back and wrapping up our In the Kitchen show with a look at smart ovens. Now, these things are turning up the heat on their conventional competition and will soon be changing the way a lot of us make our meals. We're looking at the future of cooking with smart ovens.
The miraculous electronic oven that will cook these appetizers in 6 seconds.
Some of the bold future predictions of modern kitchens missed the mark by just a little, while others hit it spot on.
Simply by pressing a couple of buttons, the recipe of your choice appears on the screen.
Now in 2020, smart ovens are set to go mainstream, with a few major brands dominating the market. They're all connected to the internet.
A smart oven is basically an oven that has some intelligence inside of it.
David Raby, CEO of the Tavala Smart Oven Company, has a list of reasons you'd be smart to have one in your kitchen, starting with multiple automated cooking methods in one device.
The oven can convection bake, it can steam, it can broil.
The June and Brava ovens offer similar methods, minus the steam, but they all combine cooking techniques to achieve the same thing: a meal automatically cooked with the precision of a pro. For example, a salmon dish.
It's going to steam for a little bit, then it's going to move to convection baking, and then it's going to finish with a high heat broil.
Next up, smart ovens offer a huge database of recipes, which all cook automatically.
There's actually a mobile app that comes with it. If you don't even know how to roast a head of broccoli, the app has instructions to tell you how to cut it, how to marinate it, and then you just push the cook button on your app.
You can also scan several brands of frozen food.
There's about 700 frozen grocery items that cook automatically. You could go buy Amy's bowl, for example, scan the UPC code on it, and the oven will cook it automatically and actually cook it better than the instructions.
David says more items and recipes are constantly being added via app updates.
What if you could cook amazing food every day of the week?
We'll end with one of the most important features of smart ovens, price. The Brava oven is at the top of the food chain.
Welcome to life with Brava.
With a price tag starting at $900, while the June comes in at about $500. The Tovala is $299, and while it can cook store-bought food, it also has a meal subscription plan with fresh ingredients.
Our meals are $11.99. They arrive fresh. You see what ingredients are in them.
You can easily compare the features of the various ovens online to see which works best for you. Serving up the future of cooking with smart ovens.
You know, I'm waiting for the oven to be smart enough to decide what to make for dinner and then have it ready when I get home from work.
And if it can also bake a cake for dessert, we'd be living like the Jetsons.
Right.
Thanks for watching our special In the Kitchen edition of The List. I'm sure we made you nice and hungry.